Hey, I'm Susan Palmer, and this is my new guitar. I wanted to share a little bit about it with you because I'm very excited about it. And for my students, I don't want to take up lesson time talking about my excitement over this guitar, but I still wanted you to know about it if that's something that you wanted to learn more about. This guitar was a gift. It's a gift from a former student of mine who built it. And he built it to my specifications, and it was a surprise. So he had gathered over the years what I was looking for in a guitar. I believe he asked me some questions in our lessons, but I also wrote an article several years ago about what I look for in guitars and kind of my search to find a really good sounding, well-built, smaller size guitar. So I have had hand injuries and some arm injuries over the years that have really limited the kinds of guitars that I can play. And I prefer short scale guitars that are lightweight, that have a very narrow neck. So this one is actually 1.5 inches at the nut, which is kind of gives my fingers not too much of a stretch when I'm playing, so it's much easier for my hands. I have formerly played a Duosonic and a Music Master. Both are Fender guitars, the vintage ones that also have this very narrow neck. And those guitars enabled me to play again after an injury that really took me out for about 12 years or so. And since then, I've played a variety of little guitars. A lot of them are student models like those Fenders, or other student model guitars that I've been able to find in the marketplace today. So, but the problem with all of those guitars has always been that while they do fit me, and that's wonderful, they're not the best quality. For the money, they have been, and the Fender guitars, the vintage guitars that I play, those are great guitars, but they're very old, and so it's hard to, and they've increased in value over the years, so it's hard to really take those around, and there's limitations on every guitar that I've played, and I've kind of had in mind like some things that I was looking for. So my former student, when we were studying together, I'm assuming that he asked me some questions about my guitars and, what I look for in a guitar and things like that. And then a few years ago, I also wrote an article that talked about the different kinds of guitars that I play and, has my journey on there. So I'm thinking that that's where he got some of the information. But I wanted to just kind of share with you some beautiful things about this instrument. So just playing wise, it's super comfortable for me. It is, it's a contoured body, and it's kind of like the Duosonic. It's kind of a take of, to me, it looks like a Duosonic, but I think it's actually kind of shaped after a Mustang. But the contours on it, which are hard to see, I think, maybe you can kind of get an idea. They just make it real comfortable for my arm and for my body when I'm playing it. The guitar weighs about 5 pounds, a little over 5 pounds without strings. So I don't know how much those strings add, but the main body part of the guitar is a very lightweight swamp ash. The wood for the neck is a roasted curly maple, and you can see just how incredibly beautiful that is. I don't know if it's coming through, but it's like a tiger. It's really beautiful. The fretboard is Indian rosewood. The nut is unbleached bone, and the frets are all stainless steel. The pickup is, it's a Lawler, it's a humbucker, the high wind Imperial. So it's a really, I don't know if I'm using the term right, but it's a very high output pickup. So one reason it's taken me a while to make this video is because I'm trying to make it work with all of my amps and the audio interface and all of that, because it was, it's so strong. I'm having to change a lot of my settings with that, but in a really cool way. I really love how responsive it is. And with this guitar, like, one thing I've noticed that I cannot say for any of my other guitars is that it feels so balanced. Like, the sound of it feels so balanced. One of my go-tos whenever I'm playing a new guitar is just to play some open chords. And this just, even just kind of taking this E shape around, to me, it just kind of lit up my whole world. So I've been having fun playing a lot of open chord songs and things like that, and writing music, because that's one thing I enjoy doing, and I oftentimes use open chords when I'm doing that. The jazz thing I played at the beginning, that was just a little bit of Barney Kessel, and I really like how, all of those notes, if I'm not playing them super clear, they show up. But it's, I don't know, I really like the sound of everything that I'm getting on that. It's got your standard, volume and tone control, and I have this hooked up to my little wireless system here, because I have too many cables as it is, so that makes it interesting for me to use. Another thing that he gave me along with the guitar was a book where he, depicted his journey of building this guitar, and it took him several years to do that. And so I have all these pictures of the guitar, like in various stages of development, and it's incredibly moving, and I'm completely humbled and grateful and honored and all of those kinds of all of those words for it. When he gave it to me, I cried because it's just an unbelievable gift. So, if you have other questions about, about this guitar, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. I think I got to the main stuff on there, the wood and the, some of the, the pickups, general hardware kinds of things. So I'm just really enjoying this. And so, hopefully you'll enjoy my videos or playing if you get to hear me play in a live show or something. I'd love to be able to play this guitar for those situations. So really, my student wants to remain anonymous and I totally, want to respect that. I just want to say thank you so much again for this guitar, and thanks for everybody who's supported me on this journey of finding just a perfect, beautiful, solid body guitar with just one pickup on there that is amazing. I guess I wanted to mention a couple other things. I forgot about these, but it's worth it. The truss rod adjustment is here. And it's a really cool place to have a truss rod because you don't have to, really mess with your strings up here too much to adjust it. I had to make a little bit of an adjustment when I got it. So that was really easy. And then the other thing that I think is really amazing is that you can remove the neck for travel. So I forget what actually is in place here, what they call that. But there are it's some special kind of screw that you use, or it's some kind of protective mechanism there that you can take off the neck and reinstall it over and over again. And the guitar will, it's built for that. So most guitars, if they have a bolt-on neck, if you do that too many times, you're going to wear it out. But this one is actually designed to be removed, so you could put it in a suitcase. So, again, I'm really excited about this guitar. Thanks for checking this out and sharing this experience with me.